never needed one headline. Why believe it? Everybody wants to rule the world. All for freedom and for pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Wow. Okay. Don't forget, I muted you. Hang on. All right, Mrs. Pixel. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. That was
All
great.
right. Yes. All right. Well, quick introductions, then I want to pass the mic right to you. So, my name is Dan Roeder. I am a composer, performer, and educator. And you have found yourself on the stream of day 11 of the How Can I Keep From Singing Challenge. And you can join us right there. All right, Mrs. Pixel. That was so cool. I love that. I love that little clip.
Yeah, the day you asked me to go find covers for the singing challenge of my song choice and stumbled upon that one. And after I watched it, I was like, okay, I felt really loose. I felt really, silly. And I could hear all the representation of the sort of the silly teachings of I'm drawing a blank. Her name, Julia Childs.
Oh, Julia, that's reference one. That's reference one.
Right.
We
Okay.
references of Julia Childs per day. Yeah. Julia Childs.
Yeah, it brought it into perspective for me, and really, I could see how the Minions were owning this in their style, and it just opened up a door for me in my mind, like the imagination of it all, and taking me out of my edginess with it, and became very playful in my head. So super cool clip.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Well, it really is that it brings in that low stakes idea, right? That's the nature of this challenge, is that this is a singing challenge not to, in 30 days, you will be a professional singer and making bank. But no, 30 days of bringing your full self into singing, whether you're a professional or kind of paraprofessional, or you are wanting to be a professional singer, or you just want to sing karaoke, or you have a wedding you're singing at this winter, or whatever. Maybe you just want to be a better shower singer. But this is all about low stakes. And assignment one in the challenge, which we're actually going to show folks how to join up for this challenge. And we have 20 people in the community now on Nos.io, and I'm really excited about that. If QR codes aren't your thing, this is another way you can join the challenge, nos.io/keep singing. And I know it looks like NAS, but I say nos. That's the Julia Childs vowel. It's already two. It's already two. Only one more. Shoot, shucky darn. All right. So we are going to actually show this in real time, how you can join us for the challenge. But first, Mrs. Pix, I wanted to just have you kind of introduce a little bit more about yourself and how you are building this pair community online in the name of Parody. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about that before we go into the challenge.
All right. Well, I represent the pair community, as you said so well. We're bringing in the meta, which is fruit, to the meme coin space on Solana, and we want to, as a community, bring attention to music. We've created an AI track and published it on all major music platforms, which you can download for 59 cents. And we also started Parioke, which is the formation of parody and karaoke on X Spaces live. Come and join us Sunday, 5 Central Standard Time. Win prizes, be silly, have fun, just sing your heart out, your choice. But it's just a gathering of entertainment and an opportunity to be very personable and make connections and get to know people, talk about your business and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. I got to say, I joined this Sunday for the first time. I think you're on your 5th week of it. And it was just so fun. I was listening to the performances as my wife and I were going through Winco Foods, kind of on and off, and then it was just really cool. And then I got home and I hopped on and was like, "Hey, I know you're closing, but I got an acapella song," and it was just really fun to just be a part of that and that energy. And if you are not familiar with what it's like to be on an X space, maybe you're watching this on a different platform than X, it's really, really cool. And so there's a lot more platform agnostic opportunities now that we can really engage with each other in community. And guess what? This is one of them. So,
That's right.
yeah, I'm becoming very segue oriented. Speaking of segues, let's talk about the community and how you actually get in there. So a lot of folks have joined us here at nos.io/keep singing. This is how you get into the challenge, and Mrs. Pixel is going to demonstrate live. And this is that low stakes practice, right? Like, we don't know what it looks like on the kind of participant side. So if you just go ahead and go into that challenge, it's the How Can I Keep From Singing challenge. And then it should say something that says join challenge. Yep, right at the top. And then there's a little summary of what this is. It's all about low stakes practice. It is a free challenge. There is a suggested entrance fee of $20, but you can just say, all right, no, man, no, bro. You said free. So you can just put in 0. It's name a price, or maybe it's $1, or maybe it's $5,000. I don't know. You can, however you want to join the challenge and show up, you can join the challenge. The biggest thing is that the value you're bringing to the challenge is yourself. And the more
priceless.
people, yeah, what's that?
That's priceless.
It is Yes, you are priceless. All right, so go ahead and get it for free, Mrs. Pixel. Get it for free.
Get it while it's hot.
Yeah. So this, I just wanted to do this little moment because I know a lot, 20 of you have joined the community and you're like, wait, I thought I was in the challenge. And so this is how, like, this is the community, and there's going to be multiple challenges. And just the way that I like to run things is I like to just start with it free, because I consider that the pilot, we're turning on the pilot light and fanning the flame. So go ahead and hit go to the challenge. And this challenge is set up by checkpoints. So I've got, right now there are 4 open, but you can see there's a 5th checkpoint that's opening in like 4 hours, 4.5 hours, I think. They open at noon every other day. So we start with finding a space. That's the low stakes assignment. You have 2 days to just identify a space and a time you can practice. And each challenge, if you go ahead and click on that, I want to just kind of go through this and how everybody can navigate this together. So you can watch the day 1 live stream, and then it gives you a little bit of a primer for what is, what are we supposed to be doing on this first checkpoint? And this first checkpoint, find a space and time. If you click on make submission, this is how you get to checkpoint 2. And Mrs. Pixie, you're going to actually be able to demonstrate in real time how to advance a checkpoint. And you will be number 1 on the leaderboard because nobody else has started. All right. So you can, you can see the broadcasts on as attachments, but the submission just asks you, what is your place? And what is your time? So Mrs. Pixie, you can write whatever I would say do something like a parody, like do something kind of funny and snarky. Like whenever Dan decides we're about to finally hit the go button and stream. Like, I don't know. You be you. But once you submit it, you'll get like a big confetti party celebration. And then you get to be on checkpoint 2.
A little snarky.
What did you say? Whenever Dan is ready, I just work here. I love it. All right, hit submit. So that's it. You should get a big confetti celebration, I think. Oh, where was the confetti? You got 250 points though. I don't know what that means. I hope they're not worth money. Do I have to pay you now? All right. And I'm really curious, once we get through these checkpoints, if the video ones I put in there if you have to do it. If you do, just like record a picture of the wall or something. Oh, look, you unlocked 20% off private voice lessons. How exciting!
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, so you can do that, but of course you don't have to. That is one of the things I just wanted to kind of say, like, here's a next step. If you want to have private voice lessons and you want to kind of get more serious about singing, or you have an event that's coming up, or a karaoke engagement, like karaoke this Sunday at 5 Central, 3 o'clock Pacific. That's where I am. So yeah, I mean, that's how you can do it. So let's go on to the other piece, which today I am updating checkpoint 4. See, you have checkpoint 1, check, done. And then you can go to checkpoint 2, which is find a song, and then find your breath. In these other checkpoints, I'm actually going through each of the Laban fundamentals that we've been studying since day 1. We're on day 11, but you can start at day 1 and get the context for everything. And then, you find a song, find your breath. That's those first 2 fundamental patterns of the amoeba, the starfish, and just kind of finding your core. Then we're going to find your key, which is what we're going to do next. So Mrs. Pixel, I don't know why I got Cockney all of a sudden, but if you could go to the band lab, let's see. I think you can just go right to the band lab classroom. I'll stop sharing so you can find that, and then just let me know when you have it up. But let me just talk about this next piece, checkpoint 4, which is we're opening checkpoint 5 in about 4 hours. We're not closing checkpoint 4 ever that I know of. But that is all about finding the right key. And we talked a few days ago about being responsible musicians. And of course, we can go to YouTube for all the karaoke tracks in the world. But if we really want to be in a performance or perform for something, especially if you're getting paid for it and you're doing a karaoke track, then the responsible thing to do is to get a license for that. And there's a whole lot of other pieces to like sync licenses and all these other things. Don't worry about it if you're just doing this for fun. That's all part of YouTube's blanket licensing, is that the whole point of doing a cover or doing karaoke is for enjoyment and joy. We put the joy in enjoyment. But once you start like adding that monetization piece, we're going to talk about that in future lessons, and just how we can know what level of investment we need to make in tracks, or finding an arranger, or being an arranger. We're going to actually Mrs. Pixel is going to become an arranger before the next 20 days are done, and that we can just get you what you need to succeed. That is the goal of this program. All right, Mrs. Pixel looks to be ready. Here we go, band lab. So the only place that I'm going to be putting this invite code to this free band lab course, and it's not really a course, it's becoming a course, part of this course, but it's a band lab classroom called How Can I Keep From Singing? And this is where we can get our karaoke tracks, or make our own arrangements of songs, or create our own songs, and then record them. And we can give ourselves feedback. We can get some peer feedback. We can actually add other students as collaborators in this. And then we can just kind of drag things in here. And this is why I talked about licensing and talked about like, be that responsible musician. And then we can sing to the track, and then kind of start learning a little bit about music production together as we're reflecting on our music, and how our tone is improving, and how our breath support is improving. And then we can just keep taking steps forward. So very simple things you can do to get started. Once you get in to Band Lab, that's going to be part of checkpoint 4. You can just drop in your karaoke track. It's drag and drop. And then you
got
let's
shot-
go
I
ahead
got
and show
Orchard
how to
Brown
add a
dropped
track.
right
Oh,
in.
sorry, what?
Oh, I've got Orchard Brown dropped right in.
Oh, you do? All right. So let's go ahead and mute what we did before. We'll show that in a bit, and actually we'll re-record it. So let's just play a little bit of Orchard Brown. And this is their pair. Not a
Hit single.
yeah, it's your pair single. Yeah. So this is how you can get the track while you're listening.
Life has a pairing sweet, hanging on a branch in heat, rolling with the seasons slow, feeling every wind that blows. Tree above it cast its shade, beneath the sky I
All right. So thank you for that. And now people can see, like, oh my gosh, this sounds so good. So one of the things that Mrs. Pixel's goal is for this course is we're kind of coming around the bend to the end of our first song in our 11th day. And it's the first 15 days you have one song. The last 15 days you have a second song that we're working on. And since Mrs. Pixel is a star student and collaborator and co-pilot of this, she's actually going to learn on the fly how to arrange this song. And so now she just plopped in her reference track that, she can sing along with it, but we're going to, do some other things as we go through the rest of this course. And she's going to make her own arrangement of this song. So I think that's going to be super fun. But can you just show how to add a track? And if you want to go ahead and meet Orchard Brown for now, and we'll just create a new track.
Alrighty.
Yep, and it's that top one. We want the one with the red box with the microphone. And it should, if you look at the bottom left, do you see how there's like a little tiny green bar bouncing? That's my voice coming through her speaker. So it's detecting, she's got a microphone that's detecting some audio. So that's going to usually just route itself to your system, and it's usually fine. But if not, there's a drop-down menu. You can pick the mic you want. Like, let's say you have another mic plugged into your computer that's USB. And there's a lot that you can do with it. So let's just go ahead. It's picking you up. Let's go and hit the record button and the classic Hello World.
Hello, world.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. So now let's listen back. And the space bar is
Hello, world.
Hello World. Nice. And then one just for funsies, if you go down to the bottom left, there's something that says effects. You can throw an effect on there and just pick one that you think looks interesting, and let's see what it does. I usually start with EQ, but you can do whatever sounds cool.
Hello, world.
Yeah, and so if you take the knobs, like let's take all the highs and the mids out. So turn those all the way to the left. Just, yeah, and it's going to sound interesting. Go for it.
Hello, world.
Right? Do you see how it's just kind of like, wow, where did the presents go? So
Right.
the mids and highs are gone. All right, so that's EQ. We also have, let's throw another one on there. Let's make it sound like an old radio show or something. So if you go for, just type in the search bar, reverb, because it's often fun to just sing with lots of reverb. It makes us happy. I would say studio reverb just to start with, and you can kind of play around with it. Yeah, and then you're building a vocal chain. So the first thing typically in production you want to start with is EQ. You want to really isolate those frequencies you're going to work with, because they're going to be they're going to have the effects on them. So we don't need things we can't hear, like less than 20 dB, just like these really low tones, because if we start amplifying them, we're just going to get all sorts of artifacts and noise as we're trying to dial in our sound. So we'll talk more about that later, but for now, just play around with this. And this is the playpen, like this is the sandbox. So you see something in front of you, do the dials, go for it.
Hello, world. Ooh,
Epic.
that was epic.
Yeah, and so now you can just that's going to be how
Hello,
much.
world.
Yep, how much it's mixing with the dry
Hello,
signal.
world.
And that's wet. We go from dry to wet. And that's what the percentage means. 0% would be like, I have a reverb on, but I'm not using it. And 100% would be like, we're in a cavern that's in a cathedral in space.
Hello, world.
See? Yeah. All right. So
Hello,
let's move on
world.
from yeah, isn't it fun?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so much fun. I remember when it used to cost like a lot of bank to get these kind of effects. Just
Yeah. These
hook
are
them
pro
up
I mean, these are pro level.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about BandLab. And you know, I'm not that I'm being paid by BandLab. I just use it all the time in teaching. And there's actually, I would recommend if you're really going to get deep into BandLab, like this is kind of the playground sandbox version. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles. But if you get a normal BandLab account, still free, but you can add collaborators a lot more easily. They have a lot of really cool AI tools. They have one called Song Starter that is just like, it rolls the dice and it's like, all right, give me a lyric and some, you know, some adjectives, and I'll make you a track, and it gives you the MIDI so that it's just generating MIDI that you can play around with, and then add different instruments. So, I mean, that's a whole different can of worms, but this is where, for our intents and purposes with this course, we really want to be able to just reflect on our sound. So I think let's close this for now. We'll put the lid on the sandbox so the rain doesn't get in. But now let's do a little bit of warming up, and I want to finish verse 3 of your song, which it'd be a perfect bookend. We started with "Everyone Wants to Rule the World," the Minions version, and then we'll end with the Pear version. The plan words is not there. The plan was not there. You saw what I was going for. All right. So let's do just reinvestigate our trapdoor breath. So have your hands at the level of your diaphragm. This is really high. Your diaphragm's not here. It's going to be right below your rib cage, kind of like a blanket, about 2 or 3 fingers above your belly button. But I'll just show my hands up here so you can see them. So when we breathe out, and then breathe in, and just let the air come in like a vacuum. And then breathe out. You can keep breathing. I'll just explain a couple of things to keep you doing your trapdoor. One of the biggest things to be aware of is that as we breathe in and that vacuum chamber opens, that trapdoor opens, and the vacuum air comes in, you should feel a tickle behind your nose. And it's like that's your soft palate raising, and we're thinking of that cavern space, like we were in a cavern in a cathedral in space. That's the space we want inside our mouth as we're breathing in, because we can just get that like going from 0 to full in a trapdoor, and then we exhale. As singers, we have to have our exhale very often much longer than our inhale, or we can't really phrase the music. So that's the why for that one. And then another one that we're going to start doing just to kind of extend that exhale, we're going to count in for 2 and out for 2. I think we did this once very early on, and then we'll go in for 2, out for 3, and then in for 2, out for 4. And then we'll move up in larger intervals, 8, then 16, try 32, because why not? Here we go. So I'll just direct you as we go. In for 2, out for 2, in for 2, and out for 3. Now 4. 6. 8. 10. 12. We're going to go for 16. Important. If ever that feels like you're getting super lightheaded, stop. We don't want to get to the point of passing out, but we do want to get to the point of extension. 16 is probably the furthest I would go. Yeah, just starting out. We're not going to do 32. I was going too slow for that. But if you practice in that direction, never practice more than what feels comfortable and safe. I hope that should be obvious, but one of the biggest benefits of this is that we're going to increase our lung capacity, and also just that exchange of air has a huge effect on our central nervous system to kind of reset things. And when we have our exhale longer than our inhale, it really helps. But you have to find that sweet spot and harmonize within, oh my gosh, I am feeling like I'm running out of air completely. I feel like you have to trust your body, right? 16 was probably a lot for many of you if you haven't done that a lot. So I just want to, make sure that you have the caution with that. Don't push yourself more than what is reasonable. And you can always just build up over a long amount of time. That's the safest way to build your lung capacity. Mrs. Pix, I'm just checking in. How did that feel as we were going up in duration?
It felt really intense, but also kind of a buzz feeling, from all that injection of oxygen, the whole exchange. But
Yeah.
it puts you right into it.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. That sounds like you have a really good awareness of it, and that's excellent, because you want to come at it with that feeling of like, all right, I'm budgeting my air. I'm going to be here fully, and when this is my goal. 16 is my goal, but say I get to 13, great. I did a wonderful job getting to 13. So that's really cool, and I like it. It does feel like you get to that kind of beginning state of euphoria a little bit because you have all that oxygen and oxygenated blood. But that's that can quickly go into like, I'm dizzy. Don't go that far. Just go to that point of, all right, I feel rejuvenated. I feel 100% full, All right.
Yeah, especially if it's your first time practicing something like that, you could easily go beyond your boundaries. So
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I think we're not, we're dwelling on this moment, but I think it's important because I just want to make sure everybody knows that it's you have time. You have plenty of time to build lung capacity and to extend that. Another really good one we've done before, and that's the balloon breath. This is probably a better way to start building lung capacity because you have the resistance. It's like resistance training, time under tension, because our lungs are not muscles, they're tissue, but we can train and be aware of the muscles around them. Our intercostals, our diaphragm is autonomic, so we can just really build awareness. It's not like you can say, all right, diaphragm, do this at this tension right now. But we can be aware, as we breathe in, we can initiate breath, is what I'm saying. Like, you can initiate breath and you can initiate an exhale. So that's our breathing for today. I do want to get to singing. So let's just do a couple warm-ups and we'll go right into your song, Mrs. Pixie. Let's do our pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. This is where we can use that breath. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 All right. So that we got all the way up to a B flat. Did you think that we were in B flat zone, Mrs. Pixel?
No, but I did notice I was doing something really silly, and I've probably been doing this all along when we do the pop, 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 pop. I've used my shoulders to go up and down. I was like, no, no,
Oh,
no.
I love that you're building that awareness. That's awesome. And here, I'm glad you brought that up, because if you are feeling this shoulder tension, that's where a lot of times, our shoulders, our neck, and our jaw are where we carry a lot of this tension. If it's, kind of like more of that stress tension, it's going to be in our back as well. So just a really good exercise, just shake out, shake, 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 and drop. And that's where your hands want to be. And then you can just kind of gently roll your head around and then go across, go back across, and gently roll it again. You don't want to go past the point of tension as well. And we don't want to spend a lot of time rolling our head back. It can feel good. It can also kind of constrict some things. So just be mindful as we are releasing that tension. But the other cue is to just stand tall. So imagine that there is a spaghetti string coming out of the top of your head that's attached to the ceiling, and it's lifting your spine up nice and tall. We've got air between our vertebrae, these little sacks of liquid, however you think of it. We've got space. There's space in our vertebrae, and that helps us stand tall. So then feet shoulder width apart, just kind of rock back and forth and shake out again. So that should hopefully help release that tension. And I'm glad you mentioned like that's the pop, because we want to be on that front edge of the beat, pop, 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 pop. And that can get us, just moving forward, and that can kind of collapse our rib cage. So always just start from that place of openness. That's our amoeba. That's why we were doing the amoeba like for 10 days, where we have that X and the O, and then back to the X and rib cage nice and open. Yeah, it was looking like ballet. It's vocal ballet. Tendu, tendu, close. What was that? Drop Dead Gorgeous. That was tendu, close, tondo, close, tondo, close, plie. Anyway, sorry. It's one of my favorite movies from college. I was going to college in Minnesota, so it was extra special. Anyway,
Homework. I gotta watch another movie.
Yeah, the homework. Here's homework. But look, we're only a half hour in, and we're like already singing. This is great.
Awesome.
Ya, ya, ya. We want the yawn space. Ya, ya. That's our taking the bite of the turgid apple, like Dr. Salter would say. Ya, ya, ya. 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 If it's too low, you can drop out or go up an octave. Ya, ya, ya. 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 Rachmaninoff basses and Earth Mother altos. Ya, ya, ya. Ya, ya, ya. Ya, ya, ya. Ya, ya, ya. All right, let's do our last one for warming up, and then we'll get into the song. This is a review of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Bonnie Nelson. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5. 1, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 2. 1, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5. 1, 5, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5. 1, 1545352 1545352 1535678 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 3 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 3 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 3 5 6 7 8 Last one. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 1 5 4 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 3 5 6 7 8 All right, these I'm wearing different headphones. It's kind of weird. Like I gotta open one ear because I can barely hear the piano. So I'm like, I hope I was still in the right key.
Sounded good over here.
Okay, cool. I was just going up by half step. I'm like, I think I started in C and I think we ended in F. All right, so let's get into your song, Mrs. Pixel, and we're gonna cut to the chase today. Let's finish the song from what we reviewed. Remember, we started with the everybody wants to rule the clap, dumpa dumpa, right? Let's start there and then go to the end of the song. And we are going to have a nice instrumental break. You can feel free as we work through it with the track, if you want to skip it or go through it. I think we'll just do it with the sheet music first.
Skip it.
Yeah. And then we'll let you have a dance party, once you nail it with the track.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Finding my music. I have been so proud of myself as I've been doing this challenge because I've also been having the keep your desktop clean challenge and don't, have a whole bunch of randomness. So I only have artifacts of like 1 day of work each day instead of a week. So that's exciting. That's the thing about, I think, challenges is you make one step forward and it has reverberations. It has ripples across a lot of different realms of life. So, favorite tastes. That's right. I put it in books.
Start one challenge and you begin to face down many other challenges.
Yes.
We've got somebody in the chat.
Wait, we do? Oh, okay. Here, let's pull it open. Let's see what's going on. Hi, Wendy. Oh, yay. Yes, Wendy, this is the best idea because you're a big singer. Here's her next comment. You should allow people to sing. Wendy, this is a personal invitation. This is what I said yesterday. So if I wanted to start inviting people into the studio to come and sing and get some feedback. And that's what we're doing with Mrs. Pixel today. This is a perfect timing. So Wendy, just send me a DM. My DMs are open on X. And that's to anybody watching this. If you want to be on the show, you can DM me on the platform you're watching this on. I would love to have you in the studio as we go into the next part of this challenge, where we're really looking at a lot of different aspects to performance. So this is this first half is more the technical side. The second half is going to be character development and how do we bring our full mind and our body and spirit to each song. So you can join us here, nos.io/keep singing. That's the official challenge. Sorry, I need to stop saying that. That's the official community. You just have to click on challenge. We went through it at the beginning of this live stream on what that looks like. It is a free challenge. And we showed everything as far as options and then what the checkpoints look like. So please review that. And we'd love to have folks join us in this challenge. And Wendy, do send me a DM so that we can get you in the studio. That would be amazing. All right, so I'll just leave this up for now. And okay, I got very excited about that. What was I doing? Oh yeah, getting your sheet music open. We got this. We got this.
We got this.
I swear. Our spirit animal for this challenge is squirrel. That is the spirit animal for the challenge. I do declare. All right. Opening up preview. My computer is so not happy right now. It's like loading. I swear I'm loading. No, you're not. And it's blank. What is happening? Mrs. Pixel, do you have any jokes or pointers or anything so that, I can find out what's going on with our sheet music?
We can, we could talk about more about that clip from this morning and just how silly and fun that was.
Go for it.
When you can have these thoughts in your head when you're singing that are just kind of silly, it loosens up some of that stiffness, and it can open you up into, better singing. And when you hear people sounding out those vowels, like in that clip with the Minions and Despicable Me, and they're using those accents, it's hilarious. When you try to apply it, it just it gives you that diversification of sound and ideas for putting yourself more into your own personal style.
Absolutely.
That's what I love about the parody and the music coming together.
So well said. And look, it gave me time to find our see additional lyrics section, because this is I won't give the beef again, but this was the beef on the first day, is that like see additional lyrics, hashtag be better. Let's give some notes. That quote in Amadeus, there's too many notes. Well, here's my quote. There's not enough notes. All right. So we're working on the see additional lyrics section. But it does follow the same notes as up here in our verse. We've got, except it does start on the high note, right? We have that springboard on each of the beginnings of phrases. All right, so let's start with right here, right before our springboard of there's a room. Yeah, let's start with this. Everybody wants to rule the clap. Let's start just right there. You know where we're starting, because we're going to do sheet music first, and then we're going to do it with the track. Let's start right there, Mrs. Pixel, whenever you're ready. On the Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
All right. Everybody wants to rule, though. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while the walls start tumbling down.
Good.
When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we almost made it. So sad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world.
World, yeah. World. That's a nice low note. And remember, that's where we third Julia Child reference. World. Everybody wants to rule the world. Right? The more you open that vowel to world, it's like a WHURLD is how you spell the word world.
World.
Yes. World. Yeah, and it's a low D. That is kind of an Earth Mother alto note, so you really have to have that cavernous space here in your thoracic cavity, as well as that cavernous space in your mouth, so that the cave inside a cathedral in outer space. All right, so let's just start right on this. We'll do the same process. We'll work our way backwards, because I want to get into this. I can't stand this indecision married with a lack of vision, because we haven't really even touched those other than just in the run-throughs. So first on these, so glad we almost made it. We have the So glad we almost made it. So let's just hear you sing that with the clap. Yep, clap each time.
So glad we've almost made it. So sad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Yeah, you had more breath that time. Good. All right, so now we're going to replace the clap with something. So we're going to replace it with a trap door. You saw where my brain was going. So we're going to go, so glad, so, and it's like SAHW. So glad we've almost made it. Door. So glad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world. Right? And then I want you to point forward or pull taffy, like on that word world, because that just kind of reminds us we're ending on something. It's a terminal part of the phrase, but we still need to have it have that spinning forward motion. World, 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 and make it feel like it can go on forever. Okay, so that's it right now. 2 things you're changing. Number 1, add a trap door instead of the clap before your so's, and then pull the taffy on Rule the World. Here you go.
So glad we almost made it. So sad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Good. And I heard you kind of catch yourself on a breath. I want to go ahead and give yourself permission to breathe there, because you can, if you need a breath and you want to stay in time, those are 2 goals that sometimes fight each other. Always take things out of the thing that comes before the downbeat. Meaning, we could do 1. So glad we've almost made it. 1. So sad they had to fade it. And then we do a quick breath before 4, on 4. So sad they had to fade it. Everybody. You see what I did? Like it's kind of like somebody called it a 256th rest. It's like that little lift breath. It's like, so just to make sure that we can come in really strong with a lot of breath on Ev, and then have enough of that air spinning to get through the word world.
Right.
Okay. So I just want you to do the same thing you did last time, but this time give yourself permission to breathe, just that little catch breath, but come in right on the beat, right? Come in right on time. So here's your note.
So glad we've almost made it. So sad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Yeah. So you had this the breath, right? World. It's pulling taffy, and it's just saying like, I've landed, right? Because that can be a really intimidating thing when you get to the end of a phrase. Number 1, you're out of breath. Number 2, it's very low in your range, and number 3, it's kind of this really icky vowel. World. Word. Right? So who the person I'm thinking of that would help that. I'm not going to make a reference because we're already at 3, but
oh yes, no,
sneaky, yes. All right, so I don't know what that was. That was like Yoda meets Gollum. Sneaky, or like sneaky is there. That's pull them back apart. All right, let's put on the track. Let's go for it. And I'm pretty sure every time we've gotten to that last verse, it's kind of been fine. I need to honestly though listen to it and just kind of see. I think the thing we really wanted to work on was this chorus when it comes to the so glad we've almost made it. So let's try and do the whole song. Go for it. Go for bro. Or go for Rich. Go for Rich. That's a thing. I need to stop sharing. There we go. And looks like, I think you have it up, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right, here we go. All right, there's that Sing King moment. We're taking our breath, and let's go for it.
All right. Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior. When you're back on Mother Nature, everybody wants to do. It's my own desire. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Help me make the most of freedom and of pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to do it. Ah, squirrel. Stop. My forever. Everybody wants to. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands by the walls. When they do, I lost the plot. I'm muted. You're muted. I mean,
I'm muted. I'm muted. That's right. I was just saying, yeah, just remember this is for funsies. So don't worry about it. Let's back up. And then I was trying to give you that prep of like, we're gonna clap, there's a room.
Right.
So this is when you're going through the song, you just train it's retrieval practice is the neuroscientific way to talk about it. But you're just reminding yourself every time this happens, if this, then that. If I see that there's a room coming up, I know that I got to get ready for that springboard. Like, so glad. Wait, not wrong springboard. Everybody wants to rule there's a room where, because remember, we're not going for theirs.
Right.
There's a room. We're going for room. All right. So go back a little bit more. Let's kind of get into this verse so you can kind of build that muscle memory of I'm talking about making the most of freedom and pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. That's why everybody wants to rule the world. And there's a room where the light won't find you, so there's let's just take it back to this verse.
Help me make the most of freedom and the pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to live. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while the walls are tumbling down. They still are right behind you. So glad we've almost made it. How sad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to live.
Dance party.
Skipping the dance party.
Yeah. Well, so now we want to get into that next part. So this is, we're going over this theme into whatever comes next. It's the C additional lyrics. Thank you, Tears for Fears. I can't stand this indecision, right? Yeah. Let's get into that.
I can't stand this freedom, married with relaxation. Everybody wants to say that you'll never need it. What headline, why do you need it? Everybody wants to need it. All for freedom and for pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants freedom.
Good. Now we have the guitar solo for days. All right. Yeah. Great. Okay. So now let's briefly touch on that too. When your track ends, this is what I want everyone to just be thinking about. If you are doing karaoke, if you're doing a performance in front of people at the Met Opera, if you are singing for a wedding, always live in the moment till that last beat of the song. And just keep, that's where we're talking about character over the next 2 weeks after this. You have to stay in that character and in that moment and in the world of the song, because people need that time to say like, oh my gosh, that was so good. Yeah, they're marinate, and that's when they, it's not in the moment that people are most emotionally moved. It's when it ends and that you're still in that moment and there's silence. And then their brain's like, oh my God, so yeah, right. That's what we want. We want that moment that makes people do that. Their inhale, that really audible inhale, or like at the end. That's what you live for as a singer, right? You're living for the song. You're living for that moment, not the applause. Hopefully. You're living for the song and for the audience and for sharing that story of the song. And that's where, when we do this, when we engage in this low stakes practice and really attend to the song with our full self, you can't take yourself out of the song, because now that song's a part of you and you have to become a part of the song. So I really, one of the things, and we're going to cut it here. So here, I'll stop the screen share just so we can wrap up. But a few closing comments. I think, we'll maybe do this one more time, Mrs. Pixel, but then it's going to be time to start moving on to our next song. And I'm so excited that hopefully we'll have Wendy, sometime this week, or maybe even early next week. Or over the weekend, whatever, whenever she's available. It'd be great to have you come in the studio. That's an invitation to everybody. If you are seeing this and you want to come into the studio and sing something, have us give some feedback, do some Bartenieff work with us. And, that's what tomorrow is going to be all about, is reviewing that and applying it one last time to this song that Mrs. Pixel has chosen. And then it's time to close that chapter and move on to our next song in this challenge. All right.
Yes.
So
looking forward to it.
So excited. Yeah, you're like, I'm so done ruling the world. But this is the really cool part. Yeah.
I'm excited to go sing it at Paramount, though.
Yes.
Check it out.
That's my life goal, is like this Sunday, you sing it and you nail it and it's awesome. So one thing that I want you to start thinking about as you're practicing is subdivision. Because we can hear in the track, and sometimes it's even good to just listen to the track after you've worked on it for a while, think through singing it, because you're going to hear some sonic cues in it. Like there's this guitar part that moves at about a half note. So like the quarter note would be bum, 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 bum. But there's a guitar going blum, blum, blum. And there's one that's going blum, blum, and you have the drums going on the beat. So just start thinking of those subdivisions. And then on your sternum, this is helpful for all singers, go one subdivision below the lowest subdivision in the song. Well, that couldn't be more confusing. But if we're really thinking like the main beat of the song is everybody wants to rule the world. So just sing that, tapping on your sternum, and I'll do it one more time. Everybody wants to rule the world. So your turn.
Everybody.
No, it's worth it. You'll get it. Just one, just that steady beat.
Everybody wants to rule the. I'm sorry, I have a frog in my throat this morning.
No, that's no worries. Yeah, and this is more the rhythm of it. So, and just we can even do it with like the every. Oh, whoa. Everybody wants. We can do it with that far. It doesn't matter. But here's what subdivision looks like. Now we're gonna go. This is a quarter note. You know, it's in, well, depending on this song, it's either a quarter note if we're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, or it's actually in 12/8, which is insane. And we're, you know, the subdivision of this song is actually 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
If you can do that, you'll hear these magical layers of threes, but most of the band is playing in the world of twos, which is great. So then that's just the eighth note. And if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, eighth note's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Everybody wants to rule the world, right? And what that does is it helps you really lock into that beat as we're singing with the track, and you'll feel like that super beat is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The beat's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the eighth note, that's one subdivision below the standard beat of the song. That's why it's so confusing to explain that. But the eighth note's just going to be, let's break that into one more half. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And everybody wants to rule the world. Or if you're crazy, you can go into threes because it's in 12/8. 1, 1, 2, 3. Everybody wants to rule the world. Challenge yourself. You know, this is low stakes practice, but whatever works best for you. I want you to think one subdivision below that quarter note, or the dotted quarter note. And
that's a good set of challenges. Really.
Yeah. I would start with just that half of the quarter note, which is going to be an eighth note. That's why I love math and music, because if you say half of a quarter, we know that we multiply the denominators and we get an eighth. Okay, sorry. Nerd moment. All right, time to close this sucker down. We're at an hour. I didn't go an hour and a half. I'm proud of myself, and we got a lot in. So please check out the challenge and you can either go to the QR code. You can also go to, I just closed it. Oops. You can go to nas.io/keep singing to join us for this free challenge. We're on day 11 of the challenge, but you'll start on day 1. It'll be checkpoint 1. You'll have 2 days to watch, and then checkpoint 2 will open up for you. So Mrs. Pixel, any closing words?
Very nice. I had a lot of fun. Thanks everyone for tuning into this, and sorry if I made your ears bleed a little bit. It's always
whatever.
But 6:30 in the morning, but I love it, and because it puts me in such a great headspace for the rest of my day, and I feel like I'm conquering the world after doing these practices.
That's the confidence, and you can just say you're welcome for the circulation. So
yes.
All right.
Better than coffee.
Yes, better than coffee. All right, here we go. We'll see you tomorrow. Going to be, sorry, Mrs. Pixel, another early one, but excited as always to get our voices going. It sets us up for the rest of the day. All right, make a beautiful day, everyone, and we'll see you in the